We have a 2004 Volkswagen Touareg V8, and we're gonna change the fuel pump. This thing has two fuel pumps, left and right. We diagnosed the right fuel pump is not delivering enough fuel, so we're gonna change the right side fuel pump. Alright, the fuel pump is under the seat. So this is how you fold the seat forward. You gotta lift the fold of the seat up, move it forward, and flip it over. The fuel pump is gonna be somewhere around there. See the carpet under the seat, if nobody ever removed the fuel pump, it's gonna be a whole one piece. However, you could see markings where the fuel pump cover is. So you're gonna have to cut through. It actually has some little like holes in there. So, but you're gonna have to finish it cutting. Like you could see an actual like circle where the pump cover is. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna cut through, not all the way, just up to over here or so, like over here. So this piece of carpet is gonna stay there. And when we're done with it, we're gonna spray the fuel cover with the Haverstraw adhesive and stick it back on so it doesn't move. We're gonna have to remove this bracket because one of the fuel pump cover bolts is right here, right under the bracket. So we're gonna have to remove this seat bracket. Those bolts. Alright. You see those holes, they already made the holes for it, so it's easy to stick a knife or a razor blade in there. Alright, so this is our fuel pump door. I'm gonna have to remove those 4 10mm nuts so you could get the access to the fuel pump. Here's our fuel pump. I'm gonna take a blowgun and blow all the dirt out of there, so none of it is gonna fall through when we're gonna open it up. One more thing, the less fuel you have in the tank, the better. So it's better if it's gonna be maybe a quarter of a tank or Alright, you gotta disconnect the electrical connector. In order to do that, you gotta press down on the connector and then pull on the release pin and then pull the connector off. You're not gonna press it down, it might be like the pin might be tension, so you might break the connector. You have to press it down like you're trying to close it. Now these lines, you have to be very careful with them. You have to, well, we use this little special tool for this fuel lines, but the same thing, you press on the tab, you press on the line down, and then you pull it up. Do not try to press and pull up right away, because you will break the line. You have to press on the tab on the side of the line, like here you see this tab. You gotta press on it, pull the line towards like you're trying to close it, and then pull it off. And be careful, there's gonna be fuel coming out of there. Suck as much of it out as possible so it doesn't get into the interior. It will stink for a while. see? We're pressing the tab, push it towards the closing, and then pull it off. Set the lines aside so they don't get in the way of a fuel pump when you're taking it out. Be careful not to break the lines, it's going to be a very big pain to change them. Now you gotta knock the securing ring off the pump. A little chisel with a hammer. You don't have to go crazy on it. Just a little bit. Make sure you don't make it spark, so make sure you're holding it tight against the ring. Now pull the pump cover off. Be careful with all the hoses. Disconnect all the connectors in there. You gotta track all the connectors that stay in the tank. You gotta disconnect them. There are fuel level connectors. Disconnect the fuel lines from the transfer pump. Basically, you gotta track all the lines that go to the pump you're replacing and disconnect them so the pump is free to come out. Now you're gonna have to twist the whole fuel delivery unit, the pump, about 90 degrees to the left. About 90 degrees to the left. Now our pump is free to come out. You're gonna have to play around with the pump so it comes out, twist it 90 degrees to the left, and if it's still gonna be stuck a bit, just play around, wiggle it back and forth, and try to take it out. Okay, so we took the pump, whole unit out. Now we're gonna have to deal with this transfer hose. So we have one transfer hose, it goes to the other side, so you're gonna have to open the left side fuel pump as well and disconnect the hose from there. So we'll open the seat the same way, pull it up, slide forward, flip it over. We have same thing, carpet needs to be cut. You're gonna have to remove the seat bracket. This bracket is also holding the seat down. Well, we're gonna move it aside so we could take the nut out. We're not gonna remove the bracket completely. Yep. Yeah, the bolts for the bracket are triple square, M10. The left side carpet also have the slots already, so just follow the holes in the carpet, cut her open. same 4 10mm nuts. Same deal over here. You gotta press down on the connector, pull on the tab on the side, don't pull too hard, and then pull up the connector. Doesn't want to release, press down again, pull on the tab, and release. Same thing with the fuel pump, fuel line. Press on the release tab, pull it towards closing, and then pull it off. Same thing, you're gonna have to blow it out, clean the area so none of the debris is gonna fall inside, and knock the securing off of the second fuel pump. So we have a second fuel pump module. There's a line that goes over to the right side. You have to disconnect it from the module. And now you could pull the fuel pump out completely. Oops. Put it on the mounting bracket. Twist it, might be tricky to put her in. Just note how you're taking it out, where all the wiring was facing. Put it on the mounting bracket and twist it 90 degrees right to the right. And start connecting all the hoses. Connect all the sensor wiring and the pump wiring to the pump cover. Connect all the hoses. The hoses on the left side are all different diameters, so you're not going to be able to mess them up. Same as the right side. Make sure that everything is connected. Okay, so when all the hoses connected, don't forget that little black hose over here. It goes on the side of the pump. Connect all the wiring on the right side as well.
You're not gonna mix them, they're different.
The plugs are different, so you're not gonna be able to mix them. Connect the other two hoses, they're different diameter, so don't worry about mixing them up. If it doesn't go in, then you're putting it in the wrong spot. Make sure you align the cover first before you connect all the hoses to the cover, because then if you're gonna have to twist the cover around, you're gonna crimp the hoses. Once again, make sure you note the pump hoses where they're facing. Remember this location. This is how it's supposed to be standing when you put in the pump in the cover. Put the gasket onto the tank first. And then squeeze the cover through the gasket. There's a tab on the side of the cover. It only goes into one spot. So make sure you know where the spot was when you were taking the pump out. When you put in your securing ring back on, you'll be able to see where the old securing tabs were. So put her in the same spot where they were.
Oh, for
Now, pull the lines back on.
yes.
If the fittings don't want to go in, lubricate the connectors. They will go in easily.
Click.
Put the plug back on, and you're all set with this side. Now put the cover back on, but before you glue the cover back in, I'd suggest checking the fuel pressure and the fuel pump flow first, just to make sure you fix the problem. Seatbelt box, the seat bracket.
На ребрах.
Thread the bolts in a couple of turns with the hand, and then you could finish with the power tools.
Give me gun.
Alright, so the left side we have everything connected to the filter housing. Don't forget, this is the filter housing. You won't find a filter in the auto parts stores. They'll tell you that the fuel filter in this car is not serviceable. Go up a dealership, there is a filter in there. It's a cartridge filter and you have to replace it. Like this one was very dirty. Check out our other video on the fuel filter replacement on the Volkswagen Touareg. Same thing, put the gasket on first, then put the cover. Same as the pump, it has a little tab on the side. It will only go into one spot. Put the ring back on. Connect the lines, connector, cover, and you're all set. And put the bracket back on, hold the seats back down. Well, make sure you check the fuel pressure and the fuel pump flow before you close everything up. Always replace the fuel filter when you're replacing the fuel pump.